Heat 2 for DD2 Masters about to get underway. Race 14 of the meeting. Let's have a look at the starting grid. So, Paul Louveau and Tom Dessert will be on the front row of the grid, representing France and Belgium respectively. Sławomir Morański from Poland and Karl Klebor from Belgium, row 2. Rudy Champion and Christophe Capitain, both representing France. That is row number 3. Sebastian Rumpelhardt from Germany and Ian Getz from Belgium. That's row 4, with Christoph Adams and Switzerland's Alessandro Glauser rounding out the top 10. Roberto Pajewski, 11th, representing Austria. France's Bruno Dos Santos in 12th, ahead of countryman Damien Loiseau in the 5.05. Marco Winkler and Leo Kirstens round out the 15 strong, representing Germany and the Netherlands respectively. So now on their sighting lap as they get ready once again to go racing. The rain's a great equaliser, isn't it? It also gives a nice dynamic to the racing. But also, the people that I feel sorry for are the teams, the drivers. They've had to brave these conditions, as well as everyone that is here in terms of parents, guardians, additional personnel that have been required, and also everyone. I have to give a shout out to the Team MKG marshalling team here at Karting Genk for braving the conditions. Our cameramen out there as well. Also our race director, who has been controlling and overlooking proceedings. So depending on where these drivers finish now, they'll have an inkling on where this will put them on the grid for the first final tomorrow. And according to the current timetable, the first final for them will be at 10 past 12 local time. Tomorrow, we will be honouring the 2020 champions before the finals tomorrow. And the trophies do look rather nice indeed. And that will be for all 4 classes here this weekend. And you can see these drivers are waiting. They're anticipating what the rolling start is going to do, but it is down to Louveau and Dessert to control proceedings. Morański will look to have a better time this time around after what happened at turn 6 on the first lap last time around. I'm sure that Roberto Pajewski will be looking forward to hopefully a better run this time. But the drivers now make their way through into the tram lines. So, are we ready? Are we steady? The drivers are ready. They go racing. And into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Dessert looking to go around the outside and up the inside now. Who on God's green earth was that? That was Rudy Champion. He was like a rocket ship on that start, I think. So the 503 from France takes the initial advantage through the start phase. Up into turn 6 for the first time. And Morański up into second. And they're all squabbling for traction coming through turn 6 as they all hurtle their way down in towards turn 7. A better first lap exchange for all of the drivers, Morański and Pajewski included. And Dessert. Oh, now Karl Klebor is looking round past Paul Louveau, who's dropped to 5th place. So Rudy Champion gets the initial advantage. As up the inside of Karl Klebor looks to be Paul Louveau. So the drivers still... Now, the thing is the rain has come back. It started to hit the circuit a little bit harder. So the spray is starting to become a factor. And in the next 2 3/4 hours, if this worsens, this is going to really test the drivers, really test their mettle, test their resolve and their levels of concentration and the mentality of the way to win, the will to win. So at the moment, Champion leads. Moransky. Then it's Louveau back into third place, ahead of Dessert. Side by side, round about 7th or 8th position. As Christoph Adams has made his way into 8th and is behind Sebastian Rumpelhardt. Alessandro Glauser and Christoph Capitan, they round out the top 10. And here is the battle between Slavomir Moransky, and it looks like that is Paul Louveau. They've started to break away from Tom Dessert. And Dessert being closed in on by Ian Gepps. Karl Klebort rounds out the top 6. There's Sebastian Rumpelhardt, Christoph Adams, Alessandro Glauser, Christoph Capitan. Looks like Pajewski, I think, has just gotten up into 11th position. There has been a massive incident. Massive incident. Someone put on the brakes. 2 carts off of the left-hand side of turn 12. And that looks to be Christophe Capitan and Damien Loiseau. I think it was Capitan trying to go up the inside, hit the brakes. The back end stepped out. It snapped. So that was a heart-in-the-mouth moment. And both drivers have rejoined. So that was an absolutely sudden, shocking incident there. But obviously, you try, aquaplaning. It doesn't matter how much water these tyres disperse. If you put a foot wrong or there's a bit of standing water, that will mean that the kart will literally do anything. It will either go straight on. Arsène Dereux that question after the first heat that he was in for DD2 earlier on today. It can catch you out. So 3rd and 4th, Paul Louveau is battling away. Now that's with Ian Gepps. Now Tom Dessert drops to 5th place. Karl Klebort and Sebastian Rumpelhardt round out the top 7. Christoph Adams drops to 9th behind Alessandro Glauser from Switzerland, being mechanic this weekend by his countryman and also a man that has been in the wars in Euro Trophy, Jan Schwitter, in DD2 in years past. So it was an incident between Christophe Capitan and Damien Loiseau. I don't think anyone was at fault, but the move was trying to be made, and then all of a sudden, so these drivers still doing their level best, but Rudy Champion has got a lead over Slavomir Moransky, the 2018 champion from the Euro Trophy in this very class. Still remember, that was a season that he remembered for a very long time, as now there's a bit of a dust-up happening. One of those drivers involved in that is Roberto Pajewski. He's trying to go toe-to-toe with the very, very well-experienced Christoph Adams, who cuts across the front. Looks like that was Bruno Dos Santos that just had his front bumper nearly swiped off in one fell swoop. And now Damien Loiseau has just been hit with the 5-second time penalty for pushing. So Moransky trying to hold off Paul Louveau, who picks up a time penalty earlier on, which denied him a victory this weekend, as he took pole position in qualifying. Very, very much all smiles yesterday. So Moransky takes a wide line going through turn 8, manages to get the traction on those rear tyres, and the car bites down hard. The car bites down hard into the tarmac, and that means that he has a good run on Louveau. Moransky, filled with experience, multi-time race winner and champion in Poland, but also he made his debut in the B&L karting series for 2021. As now, Louveau up the inside, and he literally was late breaky on that, but Moransky got the switchback through turn 12. The 541 from 46 team, with that very, very shiny race helmet of his. I still remember when he was wearing his Team Polska uniform back at the champion ceremony at Wackersdorf in 2018. So now, second and third, it's a mind game now. These drivers have to try and put the frighteners on those or do something that they don't expect. And I think Branansky knew that there was a possibility that Louvaux would send it up the inside through turn 12, which Louvaux had enough room to do by a whisker, I might add. And he got through, but Moransky was straight away on the counter-attack and got the job done. But it has been pretty clean sailing. Rudy Champion got an electric start, and that was not through the drivetrain, which is an internal combustion engine, I might add. He got a lightning fast start, absolutely mugged everybody, including Louvaux. He was behind Moransky, got a great start, just absolutely nailed it. It was textbook. So Louvaux, Moransky, Dessert, Clébaut, as Christophe Capitan. I think from that incident earlier with Damien Loiseau, there was a bit of drama, as there is, 2019 and 2020 champion come together going into the run for turn 3. So Rumpelhart and Pajewski now. You know what? The thing is, it doesn't matter about nationalities. It's about drivers. As now Pajewski got a real good run on Rumpelhart going through down the Europlan. He's right on the back bumper of the Berlin-based driver. As there is a little bit of a drift wide. Pajewski up the inside and now takes the position. But Rumpelhart staying with him. So, good move there from Pajewski. Just waited. Now a bit of a drift there. Back end steps out to the left-hand side. Rumpelhart now senses a chance. Loses a bit of traction coming out of turn 11. And Pajewski pulls away from him. But Rudy Champion has a 3.3 second advantage with just over 60 seconds in this race, plus an additional lap remaining. Louvaux in third. Ian Getz in fourth. Tom Dessert, who started on the front row, alongside Louvaux, who's currently in third, down into fifth place. Karl Clébaut started alongside Moransky, who's in second. Clébaut now sixth. Glauser started in 10th, now up 3 positions, ahead of 2019 Euro Trophy DD2 Masters and Grand Finals DD2 Masters champion. As Moransky, now that was a bit wide for the Polish driver. He caught a little bit of curb going into the approach for turn 8, but on that particular occasion, he managed to not let the door stay open for too long for Paul Louvaux to get past. So the time is fast running out, 15 seconds on the clock remaining. So very, very close indeed. Rudy Champion will cross the line. 4 seconds on the clock remaining. On to the penultimate lap we go. Lap 9 out of 10. And Moransky has started to pull away from Louvaux. Ian Getz just has set the fastest lap of the race. A 1 minute 14.021 from the Belgian. Up in fourth position. And he has pulled his gap to just over 2.4 seconds ahead of Tom Dessert. And we have Alessandro Glauser trying to close in on Karl Clébaut, battling for what is sixth position. So they go through into turn 6. Glauser takes a tighter line onto the Europlan through turn 6. Puts the hammer down, tries to close. Clébaut shuts the door, going into the apex. And again, the same tactic from Clébaut, and Glauser sees a bit of daylight at the end of the tunnel and gets through. On the penultimate lap of the race, good work by Alessandro Glauser. But Karl Clébaut, I'm not too sure if he went a bit too hot into that corner and missed his braking point. But that's a momentum-carrying corner. If you get a good run out of 7 and you modulate the brake and throttle enough to keep a good tight line, then you won't have an incident where you had Karl Clébaut going wide. And now Tom Dessert has Alessandro Glauser closing down on him as we go on to the final lap of the race. Champion has a lead of 4.3 seconds. Paul Louvaux looking to make it a French 1-2 if he can get past Slavomir Moransky. But corners and time are fast running out. The leader now has gone through turn 6 and now hurtles his way down the Europlan. Louveau, if he's going to do anything, he's got to start working now. He's got to push like crazy. But he was 6 kart lengths behind as Moransky started to sprint up the Europolan. But Rudy Champion from 5th on the grid. An epic start from the Frenchman, the defending B&L Karting Series champion in this class. He goes through into turn 10 for the final time. Moransky could very much be holding on to 2nd position ahead of Louveau. So 2 French drivers looking to secure their positions in the top 3. Checkered flag now being prepared. France's Rudy Champion will take the victory. Moransky crosses the line in 2nd position, having started P3. Paul Louveau, a little bit of frustration seeping in there, I think. Started from pole, finished P3. Ian Getz, good job by him. Made up 4 positions to finish in P4. So Louveau in 3rd, Getz in 4th. Good run by Alessandro Glauser, making up 5 positions to finish in P5. Dessert finishes in 6th. Karl Klibble started 4th, finished in 7th. Roberto Pajewski started 11th, finished in 8th. Sebastian Humpelhardt finished in 9th position, having started 7th. Bruno Dos Santos started in 12th and now finished rounding out the top 10. Good to see Marco Winkler a little bit further up the order. Started 14th, finished in 11th, ahead of Christoph Adams. And Christoph Adams started in 9th place with Leo Kirstens and Damien Loiseau, who has got a 5-second time penalty coming his way, but it's not going to detract from the fact that he was the last of the 14 classified finishers, with Christophe Capitan retiring after damage sustained between an incident including him and Loiseau on lap number 5.